10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team back. Complexities turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Hello folks and welcome to game number 2 between Dragneel and Complexity. I'm Llama Down Under. I'm going to be joined by the incredibly biased Motpax. So, how do you like this one? We do see the dogs here in the IO band out. You talked about that last draft.
I'm incredibly biased. Well, they have the Dragon Slayers once again in Complexity. For you guys who aren't in the lobby, both times it was Radiant. Dragon Slayers choosing first pick. So teams are getting what they want in terms of sides and picks, it would seem. Maybe they'd rather have both on one side. But either way, Dragon Slayers are certainly getting dire. Maybe Complexity would rather be first Radiant. No Swindles heroes. They're gone, and we're not even going to pick one up early, so it'll be a bit of a mystery. See where he winds up here. Could go for one of the maybe their crazier drafts where he something else, and maybe it's like the Lone Druid or something they end up throwing to the off lane. I like the Doom opener against Invoker, though. That's solid. Complexity taking the Invoker into the Doom, but they get a Bounty Hunter, which is probably one of their best heroes.
I think as well, the Doom, while it was the Doom cooldown that was nerfed, definitely still having some trouble doing as much utility. It does sometimes mean, hey, maybe you can't engage as frequently as you want, and also with the Bounty Hunter going around, maybe the Bounty just shadows the Doom, and then Invoker always knows what's going on. We've seen that type of play before.
Yeah, taking their time with their second pickup in the first phase. When we think about Dragon Slayers in general, they're probably considering the Slayerzzz. I know it's like one they tend to look towards, but after last game where it didn't go too well making, that Blink Dagger is coming online way too late. Much finition though, because you've got like Joker now, you know that the speed is already going to be a little bit slower. It's not like a Dragon Knight mid who's just looking to group up, but other heroes that they've been loving to pick, they do take the Earth Spirit quite a bit for themselves, but Complexity, knowing that they weren't going to be taking it seems this game without that Darkseer. In terms of like tier 1 starter, they love.
Yeah, they done their homework on Complexity, and as you said, I don't think the Slaughter is a bad pickup. It's just, again, Complexity may pick a lineup that just comes into play too early for Slaughter to do too much, or you just draft your dual lane, since Bounty Hunter will be roaming, your dual safe lane into one that just gives Slaughter such a hard time to find anything and forces him off to this much slower jungle.
Yeah, they could also be considering, like you had mentioned, shadowing the Doom. Maybe they're already starting to think, like, okay, maybe we don't want to pick our offlaner, we want to leave it the potential open that we have to send the Doom there instead. So it'll just be the Phoenix, very solid hero this patch. Understandable, be taken really very hard to shut down. Virtually always get it off. It just comes the burden of Complexity in this case to try and shut that thing down. Might make them consider going for their like often picked Juggernaut, even that Life Sealer, of course. Just making sure you can get some way ditch those Fire Spirits and share that attack speed low.
Yeah, I do like the Phoenix pickup. For Complexity though, they're just gonna ban out the Spectre and they get rid of the Oracle on Dragneel. They were sick of that business where they could not kill people that they wanted to, especially with DK, right? You can see from the sun, so on the Oracle's False Promise, like the sun shows you how much damage they're taking on the top, but like, you could see that DK was actually taking a lot of damage, but then was also getting a lot of heals. It was pretty ridiculous, just because of that Dragon's Blood and what else Oracle has, so.
I've been seeing a couple Oracle Alchemist drafts been just downright filthy. The doubled regen. I saw an Alchemist go to, I think he was at double digits HP, 80 or 90, and he pops his ult and he healed to the full 3,300. during the false
Yeah.
promise because of the regen. It's just unreal. There he goes, guy.
Turn to pick.
That would have been a
And,
pretty
yeah.
interesting pick. You already have the Invoker for the mid, and you don't tend. Then again, if you got an Alchemist, it's
You can send your Invoker to the safe lane. We've also seen some people running Invoker in the off lane with a partner. So always a
5 seconds.
lot of different options. So for complexity, they're kind of waiting a bit, trying to figure out what exactly they want to do next. They haven't shown us too much of their draft. This could be push. This could be just some, hey, we're going to win it because we're going to have overwhelming gold because of the bounty hunter.
Yeah, I'm
And,
starting to think about like in terms of other support. One thing that they've been bringing out lately is sometimes they'll get like the paired up with somebody if you want to do like a dual offlane scenario, but you already have the bounty hunter, so you'll be going for that, which leads me to think back to something like that Disruptor. Still in the pool, one of those heroes that can try and shut down that dude, get it off, trap him inside the Static Storm, kind of similar to the Phoenix as well. You can get something going against him, helps prevent going to something like the Tide Hunter as well. Pairs up well with the bounty, but I want the Lion instead. Can maybe get the Hex off during the dive.
yeah, how highly is the Lion rated by complexity? Just in comparison to the CIS region right now, the Lion is often either a first round or the immediate right out of the second.
I would say that's just because of the way that newbie were playing it. The big threats coming into Epicenter, which was the last major tournament that they were a part of. So you're looking towards the Lion Doom Open. Basically, used to cruise through like 29 straight maps or whatever. So they certainly value the hero very highly. Maybe not themselves. It's not something that, as I've seen some godlike Earthspike plays, though, I'm not going to lie, from them as well. I mean, we see all kinds of flashy Lion players these days, and they're no exception. But it's never that safe in live role, right? That early blink you so desire.
Yeah. Not easy being a Lion, and it is one of those greedier supports along with the bounty, both of them wanting quite a bit. So hopefully this will work out for complexity, that their supports are able to find it. But they're coming in confident, and of course if stuff does go well, they'll have it. CM, this is really...
Right. They're definitely juggling. There's like no way.
It's a little unusual though, the CM. It's just not something we see as much, except a while back it was the response to Enchantress or Chen. And yes, as you called, Juggernaut.
It's just like way too good. It's something they look towards all the time with the Invoker as well, right? Like versus the Phoenix, right against that major ulti from the CN, you can just run away from the freezing field, or rather the Frostbite too. Like once that came out, I was like, all right. I was debating at the
10 seconds.
you pick Crystal Maiden, there is no doubt that will be happening. But there we go, the classic. 0.84, 5? When did top 5, I think, was the PL versus Invoker mid. Everyone had solved the Invoker problem. We'll just throw PL there, and you can't kill him, and I'm gonna pro and throw lances at you. But your Bottle Crow, well, how much Bottle Crow with the Bounty Hunter? Wait, I picked a Grenade. A little synergy there, right? Massive amount of spam through the Arcane Aura.
5 seconds remaining.
I really like it. As you talked about, I mean, they had so much trouble on Dragneel in their mid. Their Invoker just did not get as much as he wanted out of that lane. And now Dragneel are looking to do the exact same thing up to that Invoker for complexity. Gonna give Limp a bit of a rough time here. And they have other ways to be really annoying. Imagine you take the Dragon Lance to the face, Phoenix throws some of those balls at you, then you're taking the Sunray. It's just not fun.
No, not an enjoyable situation there. We still have Swindles here. This is so unusual. Not often that we end up with the Swindle last. As kind of previously mentioned, all this stuff's gone. There's really nothing left for him. A classic Melons, the king himself. He's got the Faceless Void. They'll probably ban that out because it's well the Invoker, even though it's not best with everything else. And then we'll end up with a Tide. Tide versus Doom's a little bit scary though. I don't think Nyx is that good here. Maybe. This could be okay. You're up one game, crafting the Nyx counter to the Phoenix because you can stop the sun.
Dire team back.
Oh. They throw out the Lone Druid ban. They don't want to deal with that as well. Out of Dragon Slayers. It took a while. Both of these teams getting really, really low on their reserve time. It's interesting to see, especially since
Seconds remaining.
I feel like complexity would be more confident going into this one.
5 seconds remaining.
I also don't know how much, because complexity has been attending so many lands, and did not have to play through qualifiers for Manila or anything else really. They don't have to worry as much, you know, about what's the right way to say it? They don't have to play these guys as much, so I don't know how much they worry about, oh oops, what if they pulled something out of the hat?
Yeah, it's probably just more so like the basic and everything, but they do take, they watch NA Dota just because the whole community,
10 seconds remaining.
the checking in on your local squads kind of a deal, so it seems like they have a good idea. And that'll be our Timbersaw, so that got banned out in the second phase last game. Dragon Slayers have been lately. Not crazy ideal here, right? No, like, big strength heroes, but there's not a lot of solid lockdown besides the line. Just take care of him first, and we'll have an okay time.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I think part of the reason for the ban last time on the Timber, or why they were so worried, is they did pick a heavy strength lineup that with then like the squishy Leshrac as a core that kind of needed to not deal with the Timber. Here seems a bit easier. They've got some more mobile heroes. They've got the Lion as some nice ways to deal with the Timber.
I think the Tide's the way to go. As much as I'd love the crafted Nyx, with that faces ban out, you got to be thinking Tide Hunter, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Legion
a solid
Commander.
pickup. But it's gonna be Legion.
Ooh.
Okay, they want to make sure they have something to purge those fiery spirits.
Yeah, so not only the Jug spin, but they'll go right into the Legion Commander. They have been running quite a bit lately. Maybe like a hero that they're trying to get swindles. I think, yeah, they picked it twice in a row against Team Free tonight.
One of those was a difficult game.
Yes, that was the one that went whole hour. It went to
Yes.
59 minutes.
We had a rough time in one of those games, but we will be getting into it. Most likely swindles on that Legion Commander. It's also got some other nice things here, right? It's not just the fiery spirits. Can maybe get you out of the pickle when it comes to the slow coming off of the PL, or just keeping you alive while Timbersaw is breathing down your neck. Solid. I am unsure what this means. Excellent.
Just swindles.
I'm not going to assume anything because I'm going to just look for effigies. See any mod packs? The most important things in the game. Okay, we got a gyrocopter one here. I don't know what this says, Limp. Oh, I wish I could have just little... Actually, a Dota 2 translator in-game would be very helpful.
One day we'll have the technology. Eventually get the technology. So anything is possible.
Oh.
That's my, theory in life now.
Also, the locked items, so you don't build tranquils. Did you see the oh, you weren't here. This morning we had a Lycan end up with tranquils and
yeah,
just
I
went
saw
the
that.
whole game. Whole game with it was just like, this is my life now. I am not changing up. I'm not buying different boots. I'm gonna go into it. It was like a really long game too. It was like 60 minutes or so. They just had those tranquils. That was a good one.
That's the worst. Yeah, gotta lock those items, sir. Items can morph into something else.
Times there. But we're just going to be waiting around for this one to actually begin. I can't believe they have no effigies. We're all very sad about that. Taking a look around, since it was pretty much the immediate pause. Yeah, I don't think we've had time to buy anything up, but here we go. We'll get into it. Now, for complexity, we have got Swindles up on that Legion Commander, Z-Freak playing that Bounty Hunter, Chessie on the Invoker, Handskin on the Lion, and of course Limp on the Juggernaut.
Alright, on the side of the dart, it's gonna be Wage on Can't Win With Me, aka Mason on it'll be right heading to the mid lane, way 2 on the support, Crystal Maiden, and then way down with the TP putting a very early ward here on that Doom. There are some pings coming out right now. John's can just like Bundles is like, no, it's over here.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
I think...
they're fuming angry.
Yeah, I like this. The America is one of the regions that has a bit more all chat. Although CIS Dota actually has a lot of all chat too. So I am unsure.
We just don't know it.
Yeah, I mean, I do now. They bust it out in a lot of the games, just little cute things. I don't know whether it's just something, as you said, where it wasn't ever talked about because either the casters turned it off or a lot of it used to happen in Russian or Cyrillic characters at the very least. Well, let's get into it. We're finally going to see a game. Maybe. There's going to be another...
Oh my God.
Gosh. I'm
You had to
sorry.
say
I'm
it. That
so
was
sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not think that would happen. Well, what do you want to talk about, more packs? What do you want to... What secrets do you know about the Phoenix's lore?
Oh, they broke his console command in the patch. Okay, so another part of the patch is that Valve have issued
Scripts, right?
Yeah, scripts and everything. And one of the things about it was it can't have like key inputs can't be used in the console. I don't know, there was a string about it where you can't have it like twice or something. So it's probably just some simple thing that could be like even towards going to your hero that he might have set up on a different tier, like doing a certain thing, going back to your hero. Like if it went immediately to the rune and then back to your hero, that could be something that gets canceled out. So.
Interestingly, guys, I've discovered that Phoenix is wearing armor. I thought this was Phoenix's face the whole time. Like, I thought Phoenix just had a metal face. That's actually, like, armor over the beak. Look at that.
I mean, they had to put something on that thing for change, right?
Is there actually... Oh, yeah, because there's now the Phoenix, like, rotating Is that Phoenix? I just know that they put in a bunch of cosmetics, like the one PL has one, right? It's, like, weird rotating stuff. That makes sense in Dota 2.
The one that gets me interested...
a rainbow? I didn't know it was a rainbow. Now I want it. Oh.
It is so
it's
obnoxious.
So shiny. Yeah, it is. It's like actually. So for people like me, I think even in my ranked matches, although I haven't managed to play much because there's been lots of casting to do and I'm traveling soon. But like you get distracted. You're like, oh, what's that shiny thing? Oh,
I
look
straight
at that.
up like busted a gut during a cast. It was like a pretty part of the game too, where things are getting like pretty dire, and I saw the first impetus of it, and I just lost. Couldn't believe how bright. It's really thick, like it's a Marana arrow.
Yes, it is big and bright, and they gave it a huge long tracer. Like when I saw it at first, I thought it was a courier trail. I thought it was a new courier effect, and was like, "Whoa, there's a courier here," and was like telling my team we had to kill something, and they're like, "That's Enchantress." Oh, okay. So okay, it looks like.
Ritsu. 3 shared tangos. This guy has good friends. Everyone just feeling bad or something. Sure.
That or I don't know if you've had people do this. They fill your inventory with tangos so you can't buy items when you load in. My friends do that.
I would do it for tangos.
Yeah.
I do like it when your friend give him a tango or some item in his slot.
Mm-hmm. I just put my shoes on them. I am very brutal about it. But we'll see Z-Freak again. Doing what he can, wanting to make sure that they get a ward or something down here to block this hard camp. And it looks like we'll have the normal rune split. They have good vision of what's happening here for Dragneel because of that ward placed down early by Doom.
Yeah, so Z-Freak will drop the sentry just as he leaves. And times will be a little bit tough. Snaking. Blocking off that camp, nothing doing for him.
Old snaking. I'm pretty sure he's one of the younger players in this lobby.
Well, he's been around long enough.
Yeah, a lot of these players started when they were quite young with either Dota 1 or Han, I feel. So actually a lot of this lobby is like...
Yeah, this is a pretty Han trash
lobby. Well, you know, it happens to the best of us. It's just American things. So, getting back into it, we're expecting Chessie to maybe have some trouble up against Ritsu in this mid lane. As you said, a classic matchup. How's everybody else gonna do? Actually, we've already abandoned the off lane. We are jungling Legion Commander. This is going to be happening in our pubs some more now.
Yeah, until you have a few levels, it's not really worth it, I don't think, for Swindles to be up there. He can just get Iron Talon, do his thing, and Z-Freak, in the same vein, he can't do much mid versus PL, right? One of the more survivable mids that's out there, thanks to the Doppelganger. This should be fine.
So, we will probably have a very calm game again, just like last, and we'll have to find plenty of things to talk about. Swindles hasn't been pushed out of lane, and I'm not sure that he will be. Doom, once he has that Scorched Earth up, is a real pain to get out of there.
Yeah, Hunt's just gonna keep right-clicking on that Doom. Low armor, mega value, even if crash support.
I'm really surprised that we did not see Snaking initially skill up the Devour and grab something from the jungle. Obviously a bit harder because this camp is blocked, but still, maybe not what we were expecting.
Be interested to see where he wants to make his rotations, and at what point. He's still actually level 1, hasn't he managed to get too much soaked up here.
Just as you say that, he does manage to get the level 2. He's not contesting at all, but anything's good. I mean, as you said, I'm not sure you're killing the Doom. I'm not sure you're killing the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, kind of surprised he made a rotation in towards that Crystal Maiden, because you can't really contest the Timberland. Now, at the same time, it's a trade-off because you'll get more experience when you're just chilling in the lane, but there is, like, definitely kill. They're looking at a dive. Of course, it's the Invoker. He should be relatively healthy.
Yeah, again, for both sides, it's going to be really hard. It feels like there needs to be a mistake made almost as I say that. we have first blood going down on the Doom. We are going to move off of Limp's Whirling Blade. And go look at Mason and see how he's doing in in the poor city.
And pauses abound here. That's what I was doing. So 220 in terms of wow, he's actually doing okay. 3.5. Hero. What an Iron Talent item. It's like I can't believe this touched in one of these letter updates.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I mean, it feels like sometimes Valve updates things. After TI4, there was very clearly an update to force things to be less snowbally, right? They wanted there to be more team fighting. And I do wonder about the effects of something like Iron Talon, because we have seen the meta shift towards being totally acceptable to run 0 in your offlane and 2-2. Like, and then of course 1 in the jungle. Like, that's just really odd.
It's hard to find a solution to it at the same time. Just the offlane is so hard right now that there's very few heroes that can do it. You know, Beastmaster and Darkdeer, and then it's just like, oh, okay. So now what am I going to do? I'm going to run like Ricky offlane here. That's pretty much the point that it's at right now. So I can appreciate what Iron Talent can do. No doubt about that. So I don't think the solution is totally nerfing the Iron Talent. It has to be bringing back the offlane. A slight nerf to the Iron Talent, but like I would say maybe, 40%? It was like 30. I feel better about it.
I think the other reason it's so much better to go into the jungle is because the offlane hard camp was the thing to do, and then people realized that the Iron Talon is faster than bothering to go to the lane to get some experience and then popping over to this hard camp, right? Like, I feel like if you also tweaked the offlane a little bit such that it was more advantageous to stay in this region, but because, as you said, you can pull control if you were the safe lane people, and that if you're just straight up jungling, it's more efficient, suddenly it's not that great. We do see mid taking quite a bit of damage from that Sunray, but not enough to knock Chessie out.
Yeah, now that the spam is going to be becoming a little bit more annoying here for the lanes, once we get to like probably level 3 on the Spirit Lance and 1 more point, that'll be the big deal. Once Way2 has another Arcane Aura, I'm sure that's probably what he'll go for at level 4, honestly. I don't think he's looking to get too aggressive.
Coming up, Z-Freak just continuing. He's gonna get a very early level 6 actually here. I wonder if Complexity are now deciding, hey no, we are just doing this to make sure that Z-Freak gets a bunch of farm. Like, they will have Bounty Hunter online 8 minutes, the latest, it's like.
Yeah, can't really argue with that. I mean, yeah, you can go shut down the Crystal Maiden, but you're earning way more right now as this Bounty Hunter than the Maiden is, so it's not really worth your own loss. And, well, Way2 is actually looking to get pretty aggressive here. Brings in that clarity. Hanskin, they do have both dive and...
Oh yeah, there they go. Hanskin in a lot of trouble. Gonna try to throw out enough spike. Manages to hit both of them.
There's no... how? There's literally only one way he lives, and they managed to get into the range. I don't... There's just no way. No way that should happen.
What's Hanskin's MMR again?
I don't know, like 9k, I guess? It must be
apparently.
10k.
Must be 10k. So, as you said, only one way to live, and he manages to get it. Unfortunately, a little mistake there from Dragneel, approaching along the same vector. Or, I mean, it's 2 people. You can always find a line, but I feel like they could have positioned slightly differently, and Hanskin getting his save.
Easy Dota, I guess. I can't believe he...
You'll get over it one day.
I don't think so.
No, you don't.
I'm gonna hold this the day I die.
Well, that's gonna be unfortunate here. We will still continue to see just that 1 kill 4 minutes in. I was warned about this in American Dota, and I'm not happy about it. Oh my goodness, and Radiant even sees the scan, sees the Phoenix with the scan. So we're gonna even have less happen because Invoker's not gonna play nearly far up enough. Oh, it's a bait though, maybe. Reynolds is in level 6, so I'm not sure what this Legion Commander quite could be doing, but... UH coming around, taking a look. I mean, okay, let's talk game plans. What are you doing here if you were Dragneel? What's your plan? Is it just crap tons of farm on the Timbersaw and the PL? You don't have really push.
No, it's very static. Chilling out, Timbersaw, get up to that Bloodstone, right? Maybe a couple of rotations through T's, some slight aggression from Maiden to pair up with someone like that Doom, but Risk is very happy just getting into that bots, a little bit of space around the map. Maybe he wants something a little bit earlier if they, like, maybe they get a little bit of side lanes or something, but it doesn't look that king. It'll just be like Doom ganks and chilling and farming.
Oh, they managed to get the freeze onto Chessie there. There is Phoenix coming in as well. The Sunstrike will manage to hit on Ritsu, but it may just be enough. The heal comes out, but no. The Lost Lance picks him off, and finally, Dragneel bring us up to 2 kills.
It was actually very likely to go down there as Hans going to P-play into the lane, but they saw the teleport, and then saw it sneaking jungle, found the line, and got him Infernal Blade just before it completed. Like, it was almost done there. Good play by him.
Oh, we're gonna see another support. Wow, that thing even makes a weird sound for the Lance. I did not know that. Z-Freak does have the track up. He's gonna start throwing that out, opening up a little bit onto KYH. He has 2 points in that shuriken. I don't think enough to... Oh, the Sunstrike is off the mark. Fortunately, could not interrupt with the shuriken.
Alright, well, we kind of gave a little bit of a brief synopsis in terms of these, like, higher side chip thing.
Oh, Hanskin is dead. Someone saving this time. He was saying, Gaia's side chilling out, Complexity, what's their plan?
Yeah, that's massive right there for snaking. Actually, that's huge. He's just like a Doom all over. Now pressure Limp, not be too scared of this Omni Slash. A little bit worried here. I don't want to get into anything.
Okay.
Doom, give him the love.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably not going to kill him.
There's like no way that's going to kill him.
And it's really just kind of a let's help sneaking farm some. Swindle's actually thinking about coming in and giving the love back to the Doom.
Alright, well, either way, they have a really early track, calm that up. Sunstrike, calm that up. It's a very readable strategy right now, right? Like walking to towers, healing ward, half the risk here right now for most teams, it seems.
I cannot handle this healing ward. It also made a noise when it spawned.
No, it's when it dies. That's the one. Like,
okay, I'm watching.
It's really sad. It's mega sad.
Oh, that was a little bit sad. It's not too bad, but we have an engagement. They are trying to take out Ritsu. They've got the track, they've got the stun. The Hex has already been used, so he'll be able to doppel over. But Z-Freak ready to open up. No, actually, Hanskin's gonna fall first. Z-Freak finally finds the real Ritsu. Will have a shuriken in 1 second. The auto attacks will be enough, though. Oh, and we are not done yet. Here, oh, Omni Slash kills up the Phoenix. No more Sunray here. The Crystal Nova comes out onto Limp. He's like, oh, he was at 35 health. Won't be able to find it. And Swindles just stands there and foams.
Z-Freak with a sick deny up top as well, and the Mace. Not gonna be too pleased with that one.
Like
so hard
being
on that tower, you know.
Complexity just being pretty tricky here. It's nothing too big. It's not going to be a runaway lead or anything. They're just having fun. Well,
looks like Swindles is going to the armlet build here. Doesn't really feel like he needs the initiation of the Blink Dagger. They're just going to be bringing it to them.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier. Obviously, with the track, you can run up to people more than you can on many other heroes. And the Lion wanting to get something done, maybe, about the Timbersaw, but of course still is just sitting bottom. And is that a smoke gank? That's just a gank.
That's just Ritsu with the regen rune wanting to get his fight on here.
Yeah, oh, the cat making noises again. Ritsu will start jungling up their wave. There will be a couple of things to throw that overwhelming odds onto, but they are throwing out the heal. The real Ritsu is there. There's going to be a spin away from Limp, and Swindles actually takes a bit of damage from those illusions and the Lance. But we don't, I mean, that's it. That's all that happened.
Yeah, Complexity, you can't find anything off of it though. Staying grouped up enough that there's no big concern about a duel. Meanwhile, the mid, it's kind of a turn 1v1 between Chessie and Mason, taking their tray to farm.
And top lane has been abandoned. So no tower, no good, apparently, here for either side. Complexity, I'm not sure they have the stuff to win a fight here right now. Oh, we'll see them give it a go onto the Timbersaw. There's the heal coming out. Do they have the damage? It doesn't quite look like it. The spin will bring him down. A track kill, but not a duel win. And Complexity with taking one down, they may just be able to push back. Oh,
yeah,
Dragneel.
extremely hard hero to take. I can understand why Mason's that deep, right? He knows, like, I've got 4 points in my reactive armor, but not quite able to get that. Imagine if that Omni Slash had been back online there. 10 seconds away. Did you see how close the strike was to killing Phoenix?
Yeah.
Whew.
It was a close one, to say the least. Well, we're gonna go back to this farming stuff. Complexity and Dragneel both very close. Complexity is actually pretty far ahead when it comes to experience, just because Swindles was jungling more effectively than the CM.
Yeah, well, Mason's heading up. He's like, I have my bloodstone, but I want to do things. Smoking up now, coming on bot.
Unfortunately, there will be a lot there. There's going to be a nice track on through. Snaking getting very low, but in fact, it's Hanskin, the first to fall, and now Snaking getting healed up, getting owned up the other way. Oh, but they managed to stomp out onto Z-Freak, and they will be getting their motor on. Goodbye to the poor little booty hunter. He'll go down.
Alright, that was pretty sick. Snaking finding him out there with the stomp, blind stomp. As the dive comes in with a detection from the after.
Yeah, just a really nice series of plays there from Dragneel, tying things up, gonna pull the lead to them a little bit. Swindles has to be careful here. They are content to chase you down. They don't need to find you. You're not hiding there. And he's going around. He's gonna go give it to Way2, but the Sunstrike may not be enough. Oh my goodness, Way2 lives. The duel doesn't go to anyone, but there's a follow-up spin from Limp. He's doomed up, does get a double kill, and now Lion coming in, trying to stop Mason from doing anything else to his good old friend. Just gonna suck him off, get rid of all that mana. There's a chain over to the side. Limp manages to dodge it. There's still enough chain mana for the chopper.
Oh, that doom's done.
Oh my gosh, and now Limpy is back in it, gonna go spin around. They can't damage him except physically, but suddenly Ritsu is here and Limp goes down, as does the Lion. And Dragneel manages to sustain it out.
Okay.
Good egg.
Casual egg.
Yeah.
Flatline. Parents like, you want Sunray back. Good spells here. Immediately uses on the creep wave though. So that was like crazy, in my opinion, from I'd fight Mace under that tower.
Yeah, speaking of crazy riskily, Z-Freak and Swindles have come back in again. It's just not...
Yeah. I don't know, it's just like, you have a Timberlot, he was like full HP and mana. He had just one hero, and like, this is just, I would love to be Timbersaw at this point. And before you have your Bloodstone, you're obviously not a major threat, but that is one place in one scenario where you can just start picking them off one by one with the heavy bursts. It went way better than I would have expected. Like, Lim's just juking and jiving around those chakrams. Extremely impressive stuff, and came out a little bit ahead there for Dragneel, though.
Well, we'll see if they'll be able to do it again. It's not looking great for Swindles, and he will be blown up here by the chain coming out. It just feels like Dragneel have stayed down here for the past 2 minutes or so, and Complexity haven't gotten the memo that it's no longer their lane.
Yeah, this vision was here almost full duration for the sentry, and then of course the half there for the ward. Just 4 minutes of vision, full coverage there against Z-Freak. One of the bigger prices of why Dragneel could just stay down there for so long. Think about what a risky play that is too, right? Like, you end up losing like a single wipe there to full out tracks because of how early this was aligned from Z-Freak. That could just be your whole mid game gone for the side of Dragneel.
Yeah, but they haven't managed to have that happen, so they are looking pretty and continuing to get their farm up. PL has actually gone for the Vanguard. I have not seen this build on a PL this patch yet.
Yeah, he hasn't really been a big thing since the change to like kind of the meta overall as well. Picking up these merits and down with that. Survivability, a lot of right click from the Legion Commander and the Juggernaut, of course, Forge Spirits, everything along those lines. And you think about the magical damage they do have. If he's not hexed up like Omni Slash, you can immediately get rid of the Doppelganger. The overwhelming odds isn't maxed up for a long time just because of the build that Swindles has gone for. It's not too much of a concern.
Well, we will be seeing a push on middle. They are still pushing up on top for Complexity, maybe hoping to get some damage on that tier 2. It doesn't look like they want to fight. They're actually going for the Battle Fury still on Limp. Oh, and Z-Freak will get dusted up there. Needs some help. Stuck in the Sunray. Frozen there in position. Gonna throw out a Shuriken to try and help himself. But it will not be enough. And now the rotations. Complexity not gonna get this tower. Courier too. No, it's gonna be just fine.
Just realized I said magical damage for Omni Slash and laughed at myself there, but you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Overall damage out. Out, of course, that one is dealt through physical. Alright, guys. Oh, what's Ritsu up to? Plate, yep. Item, solid stuff.
I actually really like his build. Obviously, we do see the PLs who go for the bots have a lot of trouble getting anything done because they just get killed so quickly. And having a Vanguard, having the treads, tanks them up a lot earlier.
Well, Limp's not on that train, though. He's just like, nah, I'm just gonna be kind of standard stuff here.
Yeah, I do
Finish up
wonder...
his Battle Fury.
Do you think it's going to pay out for them, having the Battle Fury, trying to go late into this Dragneel lineup? Because Limp is really squishy. He did live for ages against the Doom that we saw earlier, but how many more opportunities will they have for that?
So I just thought they'd pick two. It's that Crimson guy that we've been quite a bit lately. So many Vanguards.
I mean, this patch they finally fixed all over the past like year. They fixed all the bugs with Vanguards finally, so seeing them again.
No, I do like Battle Fury. I think Juggernaut is just a pretty weak hero if you get into that very high farm state. I would compare him to Sven in a lot of ways where you really want to have that little bit of a gold lead to really be effective. His healing and everything is pretty fantastic, but I want to get into that Blink Dagger, some bigger items that don't add a lot of damage. Shout out to Trout, Blink Jug. He felt that thing like 2...
I don't think it counts if you call it 2 years ago with the way the meta
give
shifts.
it to him. Give it to him.
Well, Swindles is gonna have it given to him. There's the Doom coming out. Another nice Earth Spike onto both of them. Handskin's like, you're on your own, mate. It's done, it's done. And Swindles will still go down, but Handskin does manage to make it out alive.
Alright, so, give him a plus there. I wish there was like a counter that showed up above the... for that flare. We got the -2s and everything. Charges there. What a change. That just brings back so many of these heroes. And they don't really have, like, the Diffusal Blade probably actually will be a secondary item for, to be honest. Like, it's so good up against Timbersaw, and it's already a pretty solid and pretty poor Jug item these days. But he'll need the Mantis style first. Doom. Pretty solid item against that. Good against the Fire Spirits in case he already spun.
Yeah, I think very... I don't know, for complexity, it just feels like they want to sit back and farm a little bit more. They're not doing super well in these engagements. We haven't checked in too much, but the Timbersaw already up to 13 with Bloodspring charge. Of course, that's just one more in the new day and age, but that is something where it does do a lot of regen. You got the CM regen, you're outputting a lot of damage, and complexity have no dual damage yet on Swindles. Their Juggernaut, of course, very squishy. So.
Yeah, speaking of, like, sitting back and farming, like, going for that armlet for Blink. Blink will just be forced to TP on home. Wow, look at the damage. That is crazy. I would not have expected him to get that low.
Oh. There's gonna be Z-Freak poking around on the Doom. The rest of his team not really getting close enough to do anything. And were they looking for something up top here? Because Swindles and Chessies are hanging out.
I don't know. They're both revealing on the wave and everything, so they're not gonna be anything too surprising.
Well, they're just gonna have to run it away. I mean, Swindles is working on getting that Blink up. It'll seriously help their team fight. Oh, he's actually gonna stop the fall in the creeps. Has to be careful.
Yeah,
actually have... Yeah, because they have the smoke rack around coming. There's gonna be Timbersaw throwing in that chakram, and they know something's up on Dragneel. No way complexity would engage here with only 2. We're gonna see TP's coming out, but they're going under the tower. There's gonna be the stun. There's the duel coming out of Swindle's team. Finally get themselves a win. And a track kill, but way too drops to let it go all over their faces, and they need to back out on complexity. Z-Freak in a lot of trouble, probably gonna burn down to these own charges. And it looks like Limp gonna fall over here on the sidelines as well. Oh yeah, Shadow Blade actually on Limp. He will try to spin away, doesn't have a TP, does have phase boots in a second here, but Ritsu of course gets the charge on in, throws another lance, and that'll be that.
Oh, a risky tower dive not paying off. Quite a complex. I don't know, like getting that aggressive, and surprisingly we get at the Phoenix considering they don't have that Blink Dagger up, so you can understand going into that scenario. Great rotations, really on point there from Dragneel.
Yeah, it just feels like complexity looking a bit more frazzled this game, maybe not sure what to do while they need to wait for these items. Swindles, again, he's now further away from the Blink than he was before. Does have a dual win though, so that's something.
Wow, I actually had not realized that was his first duel win.
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal. I'm with this hero.
It's not the end of the world, but of course, you're using the Legion Commander in one of 2 ways. To get up damage with that duel, or you use the duel to hold someone in place who you might not otherwise be able to lock down for that duration. Swindles, without the Blink, has been doing neither of these.
Yeah, the armlet, not even like best farm accelerator really, right? You just want that massive damage for fighting, not just dueling it up in the jungle. And I'm getting worried, 6 charges on Mason. Swindles having like that Blink and having more items be really scary at this point. He was kind of all they had to really lock down Mason.
Well, he'll be getting the blink in a second. He's actually just hanging out by the shop while he waits. Now, for complexity, the real question is, can they smoke their way back into this game? Because they're going to need some single pickoffs, and it's looking like there are no smokes up on Dragneel in the shop. They do have one hanging out on way 2, but for complexity, there's a window where Dragneel can't be doing too much else. So maybe they can get something done, but instead Z-Freak is gonna die, getting tracked up here, trying to throw that shuriken to buy himself some more time, but it's not looking pretty. And probably another Infernal Blade. Yeah, Z-Freak goes down. Well, Swindle's thinking about going for the duel onto Ritsu. Not quite sure. Okay, he dueled. That's not the real one, and Swindles will just die.
Just lost to the
illusion.
There.
Yeah, one of the illusions got that win.
It was the full HP one. Defense.
You can say that. You could say that. I don't know what to say. Like, it's just rough. They're in a bad spot. You can see the net worth. So they were actually starting to pick up their farm some, obviously with that Battle Fury, but they need quite a bit more. And at least for Swindles, let's be real, it's the better outcome. Better that he loses to the illusion than he loses to the real PL, because at least the illusion doesn't get to keep the damage.
Yeah. I don't know. Lose a duel to an illusion.
No.
I just have to...
Come on, I know you're in that MMR bracket. I know you've seen that.
That bad.
But,
you know, maybe we'll get a second one this for.
well,
They're still going up top.
Yeah, I mean, they have to try and do something. They know that the Roshan is happening. They're gonna try to pressure them back with immediately the Doom onto Limp. There is an Earth Spike. And then also the Tornado, the shortest Tornado coming out of Jesse. But, they are not gonna get this. They are not gonna stop the Aegis going the way of Ritsu either. Oh, maybe they are. Z-Freak, he's just hanging out and then they're gonna go for it. Who picks it up? Bounty Hunter gets the snatch. They'll lose the duel, but it doesn't matter. They've stolen the Aegis. This time the winnings do go over to Phantom Lancer. So he gets a nice 14 damage there on Ritsu. But as you said, they stole the Aegis, and that's what counts.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a big enough win though, really. Like, we're pretty heavily beside Dragneel. There's no point having an agent. I don't think they can kill them. Current forms. I don't think they're dying in the next 5 minutes anyway.
Okay, so how do you get back into this game for complexity? Is it out of your hands? Is it just relying on your opponents making mistakes?
Well, I mean, they're not that far behind in terms of, like, the net worth and everything, so as the game starts to progress and you get a couple of these going, then complexity can certainly be back into it, but right now I just don't think they have the damage or the control, and they don't have the sustain and survivability on someone currently locked down that Timber and kill him. Like, he has Blink Armlet, and if he tries to duel either the Timber or the PL, I feel like he's just gonna get blown up before it's even over. So, it's kind of just like the current state of the game, because Vanguards and Quick Guards and everything else that once back up some more damage, they can certainly be back into it, but there's a big window of like 7 or 8 minutes where I feel like they're just
I think maybe even 15. Because of the fact that they just don't have enough damage coming out of Chessie yet, enough damage out of the Juggernaut. Shadow Blade pickup, Juggernaut's going Silver Edge. It's better than it once was, but it's still a really hard ask. As the item, is that what Limp is going to go to win this game for complexity?
It helps out. It's one of those ways they can try and kill Mason. Damages.
Oh, I think Swindles might be getting himself a dual win coming out here. They will find a pick onto Snaking. Oh, and that's a gem as well. 14 damage, a gem. This is everything they could ever want on complexity.
Oh man, I bet KOH just so. I just gave that gem. Holding it for so long on the feet. Well, let's chase with that Shadow Blade.
Oh, we'll see. He goes for it, but it bounces all over the place. They managed to get the CM. But that'll be it, and Limp, can they cover his exit here? Oh, the whole team is there. Limp's gonna have a lance throw at him. Just gonna Shadow Blade up again. It's actually Hanskin who ends up taking that one. Now, suddenly in the middle of them, there is gonna be a big old Mason. Limp manages to... Oh, the finger does nothing. Limp going in, trying to blow up this egg. Do they have the damage? One more hit. They managed to get it. Throwing out the spin as well. We will see somehow Swindles gets out of there alive. Did Complexity really just win that fight?
Wow, what a TP up by... Man, that was close.
Oh, Hanskin. Oh no, the Yules is there. Won't be able to be so glorious.
Yeah, still a giant win for them though. Hello, track gold. That gold.
You say like, let's see how that gold is, but isn't updating yet on the network chart, and I'm getting a bit worried there for complexity.
Well, I hope it's gonna start happening. It seems like it's starting to head up that way after the bound, but checks off there. I didn't quite see where Zook was during that. I don't think he got on the scene. It's already one that we can count out.
Yeah. Gonna be, I mean, that's still a really good team fight. A series of events for complexity going their way, getting rid of one of the major things that's going to be going south for their bounty hunter. And now forcing Way2 has to start using all those sentries he's got stacked up there. And not just for D-Warden. And actually,
like,
I mean, the net worth chart isn't all awful. Like, take a look at this, it's something.
Yeah, no, it's really not that bad in terms of one of the heroes of their current timings that are so difficult to deal with, and the lack of real easy to execute lockdown. Like Hanskin, he doesn't even have the 8th. You start to think about something like maybe a Hex onto Ritsu, but it's just so unlikely to happen.
Oh, they open up with the Sunray onto Swindle, gonna try to run it off, but there's a defusal, he'll be going down.
That was the gem back too.
Oh, that's a rough one.
And right back over to, who are they gonna trust it to? This Mason. Yeah, that's I'm taking.
20 bloodstone charges. Holy Hannah.
It's not even so much the team fights that I love about the bloodstone charges, it's the farm speed. Like, Mason can just destroy every single wave, he can spam all of his spells to farm non-stop, it's gonna put him in the Sheave Guard so quickly. Look at this! 37.8 mana regen. There's no such thing as going back home anymore.
Most importantly, he can be part of the Cut Corps by chopping down everything, because he doesn't need that Monument Sustain.
That's probably the most important part, actually, I would say. I don't even think they want to win this game.
It's
More
just
so
about
just
cutting
about
trees.
the trees, yeah.
You laugh, but we had a game when the patch came out and the servers were down for a while in Europe. And everybody was saying, while we're looking for server, did you guys open the mini game? I was in this game with, I think it was like VP and Rebels, or who is now Flipside, and they were like actively checking that everybody, including the casters, were doing the tree cutting game.
I actually can't stand what a waste. Why was that even brought in? It's like Valve literally saying, what can we make them do next? You guys think, like, they were and they were like, I bet them to destroy a billion trees, including just mindlessly clicking this, actually even playing the game.
They need to see how well
we
trained
couldn't
their
do that.
drones are.
Oh, it's certainly getting some fantastic results. I mean, you
Now-
can, like, click ads for money, guys. Come on. Please,
You
stop
can
clicking
click ads
trees.
on your own websites for money and probably earn more. I'm not even kidding. Well, we're gonna see what's happening. Oh gosh, they are coming on over to that toppest lane. There is the blink. They open with the Infernal Blade. Hanskin manages to get the stun off. Drops the finger as well, realizing he might not live to see the day. The Omni Slash, it doesn't hit enough of them. And Swindle goes in for the duel, but he's gonna lose it. Oh my goodness, Snake King lives. 300 health and they can't win a duel.
Man, Crimson Guide is just an amazing item versus Legion Commander. 100% chance to block 55 damage from coming attack. That's so good during duel. Swindle is just like tickling him. There was definitely a lack of make there when it came to that duel. Potentially just nothing the rest of complexity. Wow, Limp is like gone. He had me get mid so fast.
Yeah,
As a marathon runner.
He is picking up an item. He no longer has buyback. Oh, he's just short of buyback. So he's going to push down this tower. He trusts his team. They're going to be able to stop them. There's the blinking by the Doom. Manages to throw it out onto Chessie. They're in a lot of trouble now. Z-Freak just trying to let his team escape by tracking up everyone. But their tower push, again, we talked about this. Dragneel did not draft for that. And Chessie takes the tier 2 in that time. Maybe he'll head back over to mid and take that one as well.
I guess as long as he can see the Doom, he can feel a little bit safe, right?
Yep.
His old spin TP home.
Yeah, he knows the Doom was used, so he's good. Gosh, the healing ward. I need to stop just looking at this thing. I didn't want to alarm you, Pax, but about 5 minutes of this cast as being, a first-person view on that thing.
Oh, the cat?
Yeah.
I can't really...
Yeah, it's really good. Back into this game. We will see again. I mean, as poorly as this is going for complexity when it comes to the ability to get duels, their ability to team fight, Juggernaut is continuing to farm up a storm.
Yeah, he's catching back up there. Yeah, it did go into like the Silver Edge, and now there's going to be Butterfly. So not a very MKB heavy lineup, of course, between a Timber. That evasion should be getting value here.
that there is definitely still hope for complexity. It's just, as you said, they need some mass damage, and I'm not sure where they get it. Limp, even with level 3 of Omni Slash, if the two Vanguard holders are there, oh, now PL has a heart. Like, you're not killing PL, you're not killing Doom, you kind of want to Omni Slash just the Phoenix, just the CM.
Yeah, it's starting to look like objectives are taking hold in Complexity's eyes here. The heroes are kind of secondary right now. Lane's pushed. How are we ever gonna deal with Rick's current form?
Well, it is Defense of the Ancients, so if they can take down towers, they can win it. But again, it is a rough ride for Complexity. We can see Vision all the way up there for Dragneel, while Complexity's map relatively dark, except for this ward, where they do get to see the courier flying home.
One thing is, if they do actually get a duel off, right? Yeah. PL, you're just gonna get like meatballed and everything, and there is so much damage tagging him. Scepter will die. That doesn't really matter how many items you have. Full dual duration, he will go down. Problem is successful so far.
Yeah,
Where's this building the BKB? That'll be massive for.
You say that, but he may just get auto attack down, feeling the effects of the Crimson God. You know, I'm just unsure how much more they need to get this Legion Commander in the game. Now, it's not... Duel doesn't have a very long cooldown. If they can maybe get a couple of kills around the map for Complexity, they could suddenly get him up to quite a bit of duel damage. But as I'm saying that, we are instead killing off Z-Freak. And not too great for him here, and he'll go down.
I'm not sure... They must have lost their gem during that... Oh no, they have it on Mace. Yeah, they're just carrying dust right now. I just saw KYH Hansen holding it, so... Really making sure that Z3 can't track them up and run away. That blink dagger on the Doom. The second you see the back mode, just gonna blink dust. And Dragneel doing a great job in terms of waves, just making sure that nothing comes close. The second it gets there, Ritsu immediately starts taking care of it.
For Complexity, though, this does mean that they're continually pushing Dragneel back. They are buying time, and the Invoker and the Juggernaut will become better and better. Oh, Swindle's looking for something on the Phoenix, but that's just going to be the Supernova. And Swindles, he goes for the TP out, but he's not going to get it. Fueled up. They have a freeze as well. The Supernova explodes just for good measure. Commander 1, 9, and 6.
Yeah, and this late Roshan will now finally be appearing. I'm sure someone's just going to sit 10 seconds possibility left. They should just be able to head right in there. 45 full seconds. The head buyback, I doubt go for it.
Yeah. Ritsu will handily take down that tier 2. We have problems here for Limp. Oh gosh, throws out the Omni Slash, but this is what we're talking about. It will blow up the ZM. There's the Doom. He may be able to just stand and fight Snake King. No, can't quite get it to go. And now he needs to try and wait out this Doom, try and hide. I'm not sure it'll be enough. There is backup coming for both sides, and Invoker working his way over. Limp will wait out the Doom, still has about 1,000 health, healing ward. Not actually doesn't pop that, just goes straight into the Shadow Blade again. Has to be careful here. Oh, he's gonna see the Phoenix just opens up there. One more hit! Overshotting that bird. Goodness gracious, Limp is getting pretty fat.
And really risky stuff from out there from that invis from both between Limp as well as Chessie, but it pays off. We have a very quick kill onto that Phoenix. That's fantastic. We're talking about yells and this Timbersaw being so hard to kill. They certainly are. What the heart on Mason? Are you kidding me? He's so tanky. Alright.
Oh, it killed off the Dire Courier. We see on the sidelines Mason doing good work there. Limp, he's gonna try to get it down. Ritsu coming in. Who's gonna get the Aegis? It's Juggernaut gets it, but the kill goes over to the Dire. And Limp in good standing again, just gonna turn around, start trying to fight them, but they will blow him up. The EMP not gonna be doing enough work there. Dodged by Ritsu as well. Swindle jumps in, goes to the duel onto the Timbersaw. They're gonna try to get this. The finger helps them get it. There's the freezing field going around, way too disabled though. Gonna get spun down by Limp. Actually, auto attack to do more there at this point. Doom coming in, everybody kind of backing away to ready to play with him, and they will bring down Snaking. That's another big track kill going their way. The Tornado off the mark. Doesn't matter, they blink forwards. They're working on way too. One more auto attack, and suddenly Ritsu isolated. Timbersaw has respawned because he was dead for all of 5 seconds there. And that is a 5k gold swing.
Yeah, Complexity going with the, okay, we just ignore the PL strategy, and Ritsu not able to get up to anybody. A little bit too risky, deep it seems. Okay, so now that BKB's set for Swindles, that is huge. Now these duels will be much more fortunate for him. And sit on the right side of another one for the, actually maybe the 5th time this game, it looks like. Alright, it'll be the 4th. Always just been I don't think he's a 1-1 yet on the, on the full-out level 16. Mason... Wow, he's so far so fast. He still has 15 charges, so 36.4, not too devastated with loss of his charges, and you could really see like that heal bomb, if only it had come out at a better moment in the fight, maybe massive for their team.
It's difficult, I think, here. I don't know. I don't think he wanted to, I don't know. The Bloodstone charges, as you said, not a big deal. They will get a big amount of gold for that, but it still feels like the team fight's really, really good for Dragneel. A lot of what went well for them, of course, was having that second life up, and the Supernova felt like it was off the mark in that last team fight.
Yeah, maybe being forced out in an inopportune time. Kind of one of the ways to try to deal with the Phoenix. Even if you can't stuns or anything, just start dropping the Phoenix that she has to pop the ult. And maybe you can't stop it from happening, but if it's not in that ideal spot, it really does limit a bit of the hero. Give you a good chance at actually taking it yourself to stop out the seconds. Actually matters. That damn bird.
Yeah.
Hanskin. He's got 4 staff, didn't manage to complete up the blink. I like that against PL, maybe able to save some of his allies from them.
I think it also makes a lot of sense here with someone being doomed up. You want to be able to move them around a little bit. It's just a lot of stuff you can do to help, or put someone in a poor position, especially with how fast Timbersaw is moving. It looks like a smoke. Oh, they are just jungling together. Good stuff. So now it looks like maybe we'll have a smoke.
Safety in numbers.
When they immediately use a scan, realize that there's no one in the jungle, they're still gonna go check it out. This wraparound on mid may be the play. You're coming in, Swindles. Of course, looking for that duel at first. There are so many heroes clustered up here. Oh gosh. It's gonna be a full 5v5 because is this a smoke coming out of Dragneel? They're just fostering.
Limp? Oh, they have that gem on the Doom though.
They know that Limp is there. They jump in aggressively, throw the Doom out onto him, and suddenly Swindlemelon's gonna open up onto Snaking. They need a lot of damage. The finger, they blew him up. Another winner going the way of Swindle. He thinks about working on the egg, but realizes that they can't. There's the 4-star away, but Siegfried getting very, very low here, in a lot of trouble. The Forge Spirits actually will be causing some trouble in the back line as they go forward. Limp still getting alive here, manages to get off the Omni Slash. He's gonna get a kill there. Thinking of coming back into it, just throws out the spin. Can't take nearly as much damage from the rest of them. He will have the healing ward up in a second, and he does manage to throw it on up. Just walks through the chakra. Ghost Scepter comes out from the Timbersaw, but it's not enough. There is a beautiful stun by Hanskin, and there will be the suicide from Timbersaw.
Man, his stuns whole time, every time interrupting for Hanskin. MKB online for Juggernaut, you finally got that damage. PL. Going into the E-Blade as well to try and make himself perhaps a little bit more survivable. I actually thought Dragneel were potentially going to turn the fight around despite the down, simply because way too had the gem, and a lot of the ways they had been kind of cut out this PL was just through their invis in general. Cassie, as well as Limp allowing them to like re-engage, but killed the PL, they killed the Timbersaw, no buyback for Ritsu thanks to that play, and might even be able to get a melee racks here. Still all very healthy on the rate and the duel backup.
Yeah, and Complexity, despite being down for the last, 30 minutes of this game, gonna be the first to pick up Araxia, and just looking like there is very little Dragneel can do. They will back out 1 Rax richer. We'll see this Networks graph shoot way up, about a 10,000 gold swing in the span of those last 4 minutes. And Complexity looking pretty.
They kind of weathered that storm. Like, we talked about how there was going to be a time where they mobile in terms of the Timbersaw and the PL, but with the itemization, the farm that did come out, and well, right, there's just, these aren't BKB senses, especially the PL. Not someone who really tends to go for that, especially when he let off with a Vanguard, kind of telling your prowess very early in terms of what your itemization will be, and other heroes, the Timbersaw, who would just really rather avoid KB just because it's absolutely nothing to you. No damage or anything, as you're all about that spell casting. Would rather have those int items that are defensive, Chief's Guard, or even
They've
And
really
they
gone all
made it through.
in on this tanky lineup.
Yeah.
They have a hot on the PL, they have a hot on the Timbersaw, and unfortunately, we will be seeing that Limp is just getting to a place where he can handle you.
Here's their smoke up play here. Their leading initiation is not that fantastic from Dragneel. Now that we're into a situation where that kind of matters. Hasn't mattered this whole...
Oh, they throw the smoke immediately. They are going to find the Timbersaw working to bring him down. The Phoenix Sunray won't be enough. Invoker with the Deafening Blast pushing everybody back. And now we're seeing Snaking trying to walk it off. There is a beautiful Supernova and the Freezing Field. They need something to stop these. They're just going to kill off way too. He gets the MKB crit and it is enough. Now Snaking, Limp just spins away. They're looking for Ritsu. They're looking for something bigger. They actually end up returning the Hex there. Ritsu is still on the sideline. Z-Freak is tracking him up. There's going to be a tornado dodged out here by Ritsu, looking for a good place to doppelganger. There he goes, up onto the high ground. Does get stuck up there, and Z-Freak coming up. Gonna throw out the crack, gets the right one. They won't hit the stun. Another nice sponsor there by Ritsu, but they should be able to bring him down. They found the real one, and that will be that. He doppelgangers away down to the low ground. He's trying to open up onto Chessie. They have to know it's the one over there. The courier gonna go on through. They actually TP over onto the creeps. Oh no.
Oh my
and
god, he's
Ritsu
so hard to
gets
track.
over. He's healing up so much with that hot tornado goes wide. They finally got him in place with that duel, and they will get themselves another winner. We were talking about Swindle suddenly up to 96 after being down for so long.
Man, that kill took so long. The rest of the fight is just like gone there, cap and everything. But losing that Timbersaw as well, not that you can really tell. And they actually called it GG. They just know they don't have the buyback there on the PL, and that's going to be it.
So Complexity will take it 2-0, will continue to advance through that upper bracket of the stall out of qualifiers, and that'll be it for Americas for today.
Oh yeah, we're done. Well played by Complexity. Games kind of dictating a lot of the pace. Dragneel looked better in game number